Hi everyone! Congrats on being admitted to USC Viterbi. I'm Bria, and we're going to start our Spring 2016 live chat. You should have gotten this mailer in the mail that talks about all of our admitted student programs, so we hope that along with watching this live chat that you guys will come to campus. We're going to start off with some introductions. Alex Booty, we're going to start off with you.
Hey guys, how you doing? Like Bria said, my name is Alex Booty. I am a junior currently studying biomedical engineering with an emphasis on mechanical engineering. Some of the cool things I do on campus: I'm the vice president of recruitment for the Interfraternity Council. I'm also a volunteer Little League baseball coach at Toberman Rec Center, which is right around campus. And I'm also a member of 3D4E, actually on the same project team as Bethany, who you'll meet later, where we work on designing and 3D printing prosthetic hands for kids who are born with hand deformities.
Hey everybody, I'm Maria. I'm a sophomore in chemical engineering with an emphasis in material science. I'm originally from Orlando, Florida, and here I do research on campus in composites, working with carbon fiber panels. I'm also on executive board for Quest, our LGBT engineering organization, and on the weekends I mentor middle school girls through a program called WISE.
Cool. Hello, everyone. My name is Eric. I'm a second year studying electrical engineering with an emphasis in robotics. On campus, I do research in the Interaction Lab where I study socially assisted robotics. My personal interests are specifically in how robots can be used for children with autism. On top of that, I co-founded and am currently president of USC Theta Tau, our co-ed engineering fraternity. I also play club water polo here, and I'm also in Action in Africa, which is a club that supports a village in Uganda.
Awesome. Hey guys, I'm Bethany Jarvis. I'm a sophomore majoring in biomedical engineering with a mechanical emphasis. On campus, I'm involved in undergraduate research where I focus on tumor microenvironments. I'm also involved in 3D4E, like Alex said, where we're currently designing prosthetics for children. I'm also on the executive board for Corpus Callosum, which is a club where we combine engineering and the arts and make these really cool projects at the end of the year.
Awesome. Hey everyone, my name is Juliana Porter. I am a senior here studying industrial and systems engineering, and I'm originally from Portland, Oregon. During my time at USC, I've done a variety of different stuff, including participate in several on-campus organizations, such as the Society of Women Engineers and my professional fraternity. I've done a couple of years of research as well, and a study abroad program and several internships the last 2 summers.
Great, thanks, Juliana. I'm the fellow senior on the panel. My name's Alex Coco. I'm a senior majoring in astronautical engineering, originally from Connecticut. I'm part of USC's Rocket Propulsion Lab, where I work on the parachute subsystem for our space shot rockets. And I'm also part of USC Tamid, which is an Israeli investing consulting organization that consults for Israeli startups. And I'm pleased to announce that this summer I'll be moving to Huntsville, Alabama to work on Space Launch System for Boeing, which will be the replacement for the Space Shuttle. And welcome, everyone. Welcome to USC.
Thanks, Coco. So like I said, I'm Bria Jameson. I'm currently a sophomore studying environmental engineering from Bakersfield, California. On campus, some of the things I'm involved in is I'm on the executive board of my social sorority. I am also in the Society of Women Engineers, where I am a student ambassador as well as shadowing the Student Affairs Committee, where we plan events for female engineers and other events with the Center of Engineering Diversity. So we're going to jump ahead already into our questions. The first question that we're going to talk about is from Julian in New York. Julian wants to know, how do you get internships, and what has your guys' experience been on campus? These internships, how do you get them?
Cool. I guess I'll go. So I interned this past summer at Facebook after my freshman year, and that whole experience was pretty crazy. Started off really just me applying through their portal, and then once you get into the process, each company is different. You do different interviews, and that really varies industry to industry even. But being a part of the Trojan family really helped. I ran into a bunch of Trojans on the way, and even as I started interning there, I found out our VP was a Trojan parent, and that helped in various other ways as well. As for the career fairs on campus, we have a career fair in the fall and in the spring, and Viterbi has their own as well. And these career fairs are split into undergrads and grad students, and because the companies are looking for different people to hire, it's much more convenient and efficient for them to go ahead and split it like that, and it makes it much easier for undergrads to get to talk to the recruiters and really get their foot into the door.
Yeah, Eric, if I could just interject on that. I talked about my internship experience at Boeing this coming summer. Last summer, after my junior year, I worked for Northrop Grumman in Redondo Beach, and I actually got that internship at the career fair. I met the recruiter at the career fair, interviewed me that day, and I was actually hired on the spot at the career fair. So that's kind of Eric mentions the 2 career fairs. They really do work. That's where you meet recruiters, and I got my Northrop Grumman job through the career fair, and this year I got my Boeing job also through the career fair. And those supplement an online resource basically called the Viterbi Career Gateway, which I've used in the past to apply to jobs. It's essentially a search engine. Oops, sorry, Juliana, take over.
Yeah, I was just going to jump in on the Viterbi Gateway, the online search engines that Alex was just talking about. So in addition to the career fairs, there's also online search engines through USC, and then also just through Viterbi as well, that offer like internship listings, so you can search through different opportunities that are available for engineers and students at USC, which is really, really helpful. So I actually applied through that portal for both of my internships the last 2 summers ago. So 2 summers ago I worked for Eaton Aerospace in Jackson, Michigan, and I got that internship through the portal. I applied there and then interviewed on campus through that as well. And then last summer I interned for PwC in San Francisco, and again I applied through the portal online, then interviewed on campus, then I actually interviewed off campus for that one as well. So those are really, really helpful resources.
Okay, I'll just say a little bit about my internship experience as well. I got an internship during my freshman year, so I started interning the summer after my freshman year with a construction company. So it was more of a civil engineering internship, and I got that through the spring career fair, like Eric mentioned. And then through that same career fair, I was offered an internship for the following fall. So this past fall, as a sophomore, I had another internship with LA County Sanitation Districts, which was more environmental civil. So there's definitely lots of resources in Viterbi. It's just all about taking advantage of them. So for our next question, this was an interesting question that I wasn't expecting, but I guess it's on a lot of people's minds. Anthony from Covington and a lot of other people have been wondering, what's the best computer for engineers, and what do you guys think? The best computer, Mac, PC, I don't know.
Well, unfortunately, we don't have any CS guys here to kind of answer that question.
Eric is CS.
EE, so I guess you're kind of the closest. So I guess, Eric, if you want to answer that first, and then we can interject with our answers.
I mean, I would say the Mac is definitely the way to go. From the CS perspective, it's a Unix platform, but also it's really easy to install Windows. Like I have Boot Camp for like my SolidWorks stuff and my other EE work, and it's not really a problem. The other big perk of having a Mac is that a lot of the resources that we have here are actually Mac-based, so the OS translation works really well. In general, I think at USC at least, a lot of people do have Macs, so even sharing chargers, it's a big perk to have the Mac. So.
Yeah, so, sorry. I actually remember I had the same question, and I was freaking out because all the online forums said, like, you need to get a PC, engineering software won't run on Macs, which, like, I came here and that's not true, but more than anything, I use my laptop, but anytime I have to run, like, big softwares, I like to use the computer labs, too, and so there's a ton of different computer labs on campus where it'll be, like, a nice big screen, too, if you've got, like, a huge project, and you can just sit down and get work done, so even if you just want to get a laptop that's like easy to bring to class and small, and especially if you're looking for something that's maybe a little cheaper than a Mac, because I know I didn't want to spend enough for a full Mac, there's resources if you need to get your classwork done all around campus, so really don't stress. Just get something that you like working on.
Yeah, I totally agree with Maria, and I would also add that a lot of times you can run like a virtual desktop through your laptop. So some of my software from industrial and systems engineering is on like a Viterbi virtual lab, and essentially you run that on any computer, and that holds like the software that's more specific that you don't have a license for on your own, basically. And you can do those on Macs and PCs. A lot of my professors are very used to students having both Macs and PCs, so I've had like professors give out, instruction sheets for Mac and for PC, so really you can use either. I love my MacBook.
I'm Team PC. I'm afraid that Apple will one day take over the world. So my PC works fine. I run SolidWorks, Solid Edge, MATLAB, LabVIEW. I've had no problems running any sort of software on a PC, but everyone else brings up great points. If you like Macs are fine too. Whatever really floats your boat when it comes to computers, that'll do the trick. Nothing too special at any one computer, Mac versus PC.
Okay, so for our next question, Lauren from Wisconsin is asking about student organizations. So can you guys tell us a little about your experience with student orgs, professional societies, Viterbi, and major-specific organizations?
Yeah, I can take that one. Or do you want to go, Alex?
No. Bria, should we also talk about maybe orgs outside of Viterbi? What did Lauren want to know?
He asked about engineering specific, but there are lots of other questions about organizations outside of as well as inside of Viterbi. So just tell me, what you guys like to do, Viterbi or non-Viterbi, whatever you want to talk about.
I can start that one. Yeah. So in terms of Viterbi, I'm part of the Associate Students of Biomedical Engineering, and I actually about a month ago just did a make-a-thon with Alex Booty, where it was NASA inspired, and we had to create a medical device to help aid musculoskeletal disorders in space. And that was just one of the things that ASBME does, but there's a lot of different networking opportunities that ASBME has. With all majors, they have these professional societies. But outside of Viterbi, I was involved in choir, a few string ensembles. Like, you can do really anything you want to do when you come to USC. But for Viterbi-specific ones, I would say definitely try and get involved in your major-specific professional societies, because those are really good networking opportunities.
Yeah, on top of that, so I co-founded our co-ed engineering fraternity last year, and it's a professional fraternity. It's co-ed, and like the idea there was to really have a general interest engineering group, and that exists, and the process of starting an org really wasn't bad. So even if you didn't find a good fit in like the numerous orgs the dozens of Viterbi orgs and hundreds of orgs we have outside of Viterbi, you can always go ahead and start your very own. And Action in Africa, which is the other club I'm in, which is a non-Viterbi organization, is also very new, and that was started by one of my really good friends, and the whole process was very smooth, and the USC in general is very supportive of you pursuing your interests, especially in terms of organizing that community.
Yeah, outside of just not only Viterbi but USC organizations as well, I'm a big baseball fan. I've played baseball my entire life. I've umpired, and actually now like I said, I'm a volunteer Little League coach. And that was something that is completely outside of any USC organization. One of my really good friends is also a big baseball fan. He reached out to the rec center where we coach at and said, hey, are there any openings? I've got a couple guys who are interested. We'd love to help out. And I did that, started my freshman year, and this is my third year going into it. So if there's not something specifically that you see at USC that you want to get involved in, there's definitely, LA has so many opportunities. There's definitely a way to get involved in some way, shape, or form.
Okay. Thanks, guys. So we are getting lots of questions about housing. Everyone wants to know, where's the best place to live? What was your guys' experience? So can you guys talk a little bit about where you lived freshman year, what the style was like, and what you liked about it?
So I lived in Burncrant. I lived in a triple, which was essentially 2 dorm rooms put together. So you'd have 3 beds in one of the dorm rooms, and then the other one would be kind of a hangout spot. And I really enjoyed the way it worked out, but I remember I worried so much when I was deciding the room and tried to plan it out really strictly and be like, oh no, what will my life be like? I may be making the biggest mistake of my life. But once I got here, everyone likes their freshman year housing. At least my friends did. But more than anything, I liked finding a community on my floor, so I didn't care so much for the rooms as I did for the people I met, I guess.
I can jump into that one. So my freshman year, I lived on Mark's Tower, which is dorm-style housing, and I lived in a double with my roommate, who's actually in Hong Kong for a study abroad thing. And through my floor, I met my current roommate, who's actually my new best friend at USC, Monica. And I loved my room. I mean, I had a little mini fridge and a microwave. It was really cool. And it was fun to like have that community environment, like Maria said. And then now I live in an apartment. I'm actually in my apartment right now. And there's just so many options at USC that wherever you end up, you're going to have a good time if you find people that you like. So don't stress too much about it. I agree with Maria. I really stressed about housing before I came here. But wherever you end up, you're going to have a good environment.
Yeah, I completely agree, and same as Maria and Bethany. I also was like really anxious about housing before I got here. I think it's an important thing on a lot of people's minds. But again, I had a really amazing experience. The people that I ended up living in Burncrant with my freshman year are some of the same people I still talk to every single day. Some of my best friends here. And I actually lived in Burncrant at the same time as Alex Coco. And I think Alex, didn't you live on the BK7 the year after I did?
Yeah, I was BK7.
Yeah, so we lived on the same floor 2 different years, which is pretty cool too. So you end up meeting a ton of people while you live there, and then after you live there that also lived there at some point. But it ends up, all working out in the end. And I think that, the roommate thing works out really well too. I just did a random roommate, and my roommate became a really good friend of mine. It's still someone I talk to all the time. So I think that the experience of dorm style living or suite style living, is really up to you. But no matter what, you'll end up meeting a lot of people, which is the best part.
Yeah, and to kind of speak on behalf of the other housing options, I myself lived in Burncrant, but I mean, there's so many options, kind of like Juliana said, not only dorm style, but suite style and apartment style. So if you're more of the apartment style, you've got Parkside Apartments, which are actually the dorms that are right by the engineering school. Then you've got on the northwest side of campus, right next to the gym, you've got Floor, you've got Web. Those are more suite style. So you've got anywhere from like 6 to 8, maybe 10 people living in like double rooms, and then you've got a common area, and you share a couple bathrooms. Whereas the dorm style, you're sharing a bathroom for, one for all the guys, one for all the girls on the entire floor. So depending what you want, some are a little more, community fostering, some are a little more private, a little more social. So, just kind of go through, read all the blogs on Viterbi Voices, reach out to current students, and you can definitely get a good feel for what you think will be your best fit.
Yeah, just add on to that too. You can take virtual tours on the USC housing website. You can go through and like take a virtual. It's really cool. You just it's like 3-dimensional. But I definitely recommend doing that because you can kind of get a feel for it's kind of hard to gauge the size, but you can kind of get a feel for what the rooms look like and that sort of thing.
And we're all blogging about housing this week in all the freshman dorms we lived in. So definitely check out our blogs on Viterbi Voices this week to get more info on housing.
Yeah, and so Samantha from Ohio actually just asked us a question about housing. She asked, would you guys recommend rooming with other engineers, or does it not necessarily matter?
I would 100.
Coco, you got it, Coco.
I would say, as a senior now, looking back at my 4 years here, I would 100% recommend not living with freshmen because you're gonna have a lot of your class not living with engineers. Excuse me. And why I say that is because you have a lot of your class with engineers, and part of the beauty of going to a school like USC is you have intelligent people in all throughout the university, different majors outside of engineering and cinematic arts and business and economics and dramatic arts. So if you live with a variety of different majors, all of a sudden you just it's just a lot more fun. You're able to have conversations about politics, about potential businesses, about the newest TV show, with people with such different backgrounds from you who are just as intelligent. So I would definitely suggest diversifying your living space and really taking advantage of all the smart people at USC throughout the university, not just in the engineering school.
Yeah, I think housing is a big concern. I was worried about it, and I actually ended up living in Parkside IRC, which is actually suite style living. When I found out that was my assignment, I was like, suite style living, that's not normal. I was really worried about it, but I ended up loving my suite. We're all so close. I ended up having my suite mates is now one of my roommates this year, and we still meet up with our suite mates all the time. So even if you're worried about it, no matter what, like everyone said, you're gonna end up making good friends no matter where you live. So next question, we've been getting a lot of questions about transportation. So people are asking, do you guys bike? Do you have your cars here? Do you walk? Do you Uber? What is your guys' preferred way of getting around campus or getting around LA?
I can take that one. I tried a bike, but I'm really uncoordinated, so I actually sold my bike because it's kind of a mess. So
I can confirm the uncoordinated part.
it's pretty bad. And the bad thing is that USC is completely flat, so it shouldn't be that big of a deal, but I'm just a mess. But basically, I walk everywhere, and I timed it. I can get from one end of campus to the other in 16 minutes. So if you don't have like a bike or a scooter or anything, you're completely fine. I walk all over campus. So yeah, I mean, I know a lot of people do have bikes though. So
Yeah, adding to that, at least for getting around LA, so I don't have a car, and I spent a lot of freshman year, and then this summer when I stayed on campus, just not just using the metro system to get around, which was a really fun experience actually. I was worried because I'd never used public transportation before coming here, so I was like, I'm gonna get lost. I will never make it home. But it's really easy to get to downtown LA, Hollywood, and right now they're expanding the Expo line, which is the line that runs right by USC, to go straight to the beach. So before I would still use the metro to get there, but it'd take a little longer. Now it's going to be like a streamlined process, which I'm really excited about. But I've had a really great experience just exploring LA on foot and by the metro.
Yeah, I'd say freshman year, don't bring a car. Make friends with upperclassmen who have cars that can drive you places. Everywhere else you need to go, everything's around campus. You can walk, you can bike, you can longboard. Getting around campus is super easy. And then, like Maria said, getting around LA, you'll be able to get wherever you need to go.
Yeah, I'll be a master's student here next year with a lot of free time. So if you need a ride anywhere, just let me know.
Offering up his services.
Yeah.
Okay, so another interesting question. Someone wants to know, is USC going to make it to March Madness next year?
Yes. Short answer, yes.
Long answer, yes.
Until 2021. We're the long haul.
Okay, so another question. This is similar to student organizations, but just in general, what do you guys do in your free time? A lot of people are worried about engineering being so demanding and not being able to do anything else.
Oh, I mean, last weekend
not doing engineering.
Yeah, so last weekend I went to the beach on Saturday for the whole day. Then Sunday I went to the Broad Museum that just opened up in LA, which is a contemporary art museum, really cool. And it worked out fine. I mean, it's really, the biggest game is time management with everything, like just what you choose to get involved in and everything. It'll work out, and you can do what you want if you time manage. So for me, like, I did the 2 activities I wanted to over the weekend, and then, Sunday night I sat down and did homework for as long as it took me. But I feel like I do so much. Like, I feel like I go places all the time, and it's just kind of what you value, because if you want to get off campus, at least you just make time for it, I guess.
That's funny because you never invite me anywhere off campus.
No, I just like how you kind of let them down easy and said, I took however long I needed to. You didn't tell them how long it actually took to do your homework.
Yeah.
Paul's here.
Hey,
Paul. Paul, hello, Paul. How are you?
Hey, I don't know if you guys can see me really well, but McKay and I are watching, and you guys are doing yeah. And I just wanted to say hi to everybody, and McKay wanted to say hi. Say hi, McKay. Say hi, McKay. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, sorry to interrupt, but I wanted to jump in. Thanks for inviting me in, and let everybody know that we're going to do another live chat on Wednesday night. So 2 days from now, we're going to get a bunch of alumni together, and we're going to be able to talk to them about their experiences at USC. So that'll be at viterbiadmission.usc.edu/live. That'll be Wednesday night at 5 o'clock with a number of our alums. I'll be hosting that. McKay will not be at that live chat, but she wanted to say hi anyways. Isn't that right, McKay? Yes. Okay. All right. Well, I'll let you guys get back to what you're doing. I'm sorry for interrupting.
Thank you, Paul. Good to see you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. See you tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay, so everyone, we're almost halfway through our live chat, and I just wanted to thank everyone who is still with us. And if you're just joining us, thanks for joining us. So we're gonna finish that question. I don't know if anybody else has anything else to say about free time. Apparently, Maria does so much and doesn't invite anyone. But Coco, you can say.
point, it's all about making time. You know, I know Alex and I both value going to the gym, so you know, on my free time, I try and spend an hour at the gym. Sorry, what I miss?
You're just admiring. Coco's all about the gains. Coco is, you know, I go maybe 2-3 times a week, but I'm always seeing Coco in there. You know, I'll go for like 45 minutes, and I'm there while he's been there for half an hour. He stays another half an hour. You know, Coco's really into the gym. Lion Center is a great place to be, so don't worry. We've got a lot of, you know, good gym amenities.
I'm happy you're embarrassing me on live television. No, but yeah, I like to go to the gym, and I always make time to see. I go to the movies a bunch, and now I'm flustered. No, I think I truly think that whatever you want to make time for, it's all about, as Maria said, managing your time properly and just doing it.
Yeah, I'll jump in too. I think one of my favorite things to do in LA is like try new food. Honestly, like there's nowhere like LA in terms that I've ever been in terms of like different types of cuisine. So there's like so many different types of food here and so many really amazing restaurants. Like I know I haven't even had a chance to try, you know, like the tip of the iceberg. But they're everywhere, and so that's one of my favorite things to do too. Is like Maria was talking about earlier, just take the expo line downtown or out to Santa Monica to the beach, and you know, just try new food. It's also really fun way to spend time, and also like, you know, productive procrastination, as they say, because you're eating food, so that's like counts towards a meal or something. I don't know.
Okay, so our next question is about non-engineering classes or taking a minor. So Karen from Japan wants to know if anyone here is taking a minor, or if you guys are taking any interesting classes that are non-Viterbi related.
Yeah, I can start off with that one. So this semester, I'm a second semester senior, and I finished up a lot of my degree requirements for industrial and systems engineering. So I'm taking a bunch of fun classes this semester, which has been really cool. I'm taking a class on the Beatles. So it's just like the history of the Beatles, their life, their times, which is really, really cool. I'm taking a class on sports journalism for fun because I like sports a lot. And then also during my time here, I've taken classes in the Marshall School of Business for fun. I took a political science class one time. I took a classic rock class. I took an occupational therapy class. So my interests are very diverse, but I think it's been really, really cool to be able to take classes that are totally different from engineering and then go back and, you know, take systems engineering too.
I can jump in with that one. So last semester I took a physical conditioning class, which is exactly what it sounds like. It's a workout class, which was in between my chemistry class and my calculus class. So I'd go to calculus super sweaty, but it was totally worth it because it forced me to work out, and it was really fun. And then next semester I think I'm going to take a piano class just because I want to, and I have a few extra units. But yeah, like Juliana said, it's really fun to just build in some classes outside of engineering, so I'm not solely taking just general education and then engineering classes. So you can take your little elective classes if you want. I know a lot of people do the sailing elective, which they like sail to Catalina or something at the end of the year. So yeah.
Yeah, I'd say two of the most popular classes. I haven't taken either of them, unfortunately, but surfing on Friday mornings. You actually get to go out to Santa Monica and surf every week. And you're graded on, you know, how well you surf. So especially everyone who's coming, you know, not from the West Coast or even the East Coast, it's really cool to actually get a class to do that. Also, Film Symposium is super cool. I'm sure if you guys have been to campus, you've heard about that on your tour. It's a 3-hour class every Thursday night where they screen, you know, most likely a movie that hasn't been released yet. And, you know, I don't know most of the movies that have been out, but some really big name movies. I remember a couple years back they released a Transformers movie a month before, and they bring in either the director or one of the big stars of the movie. And it fills up really fast, but, you know, I actually know a friend who who's a sophomore who's in that class right now. So that's really in the cinema school. Of course, you can't get, you know, much better than the cinema school in LA. So those are two really important classes, or important fun classes.
Fun and important.
Cool. So I think Bree had to step out for a hot second, but I'm going to start us off with the next question here. Sean and Justin want to know about research. So let's just kind of take that general question here. Can we do research our freshman year? What sort of research have we done? Panel, take it away.
Yeah, so I guess so I started. I actually came in as a mechanical engineering student, and I did computational physics research my first semester. So it's completely doable to do research coming in immediately. Just really cold email the professors. Find like it's a huge school, and we have a lot of really talented researcher and really talented faculty. Just go into their research website, email the professor, email the PhD student, and then they'll get back to you and sit down with you and really find out what you want to do and how that fits into their lab. After that semester, I decided not to pursue my mechanical engineering career and moved over to robotics and electrical engineering. And I've been doing research in Maya Matarek's lab, studying socially assistive robotics. And I got that, again, by cold emailing Maya, and it's been a great experience thus far. I've published recently on a mechanical design. I actually did for the software lab. But it's completely doable to do. It's completely doable to publish. And if this is something you want to do, like USC is definitely the place to do it.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah,
go
I
off
want
of
to.
what sorry. I'll go off of
No,
what
no.
Eric said. But it's completely doable to do research, especially your freshman and sophomore year. I feel like that's a stigma that people think that you can't do research your freshman or sophomore year. That's completely not true. I started in the lab that I currently work in my freshman year, and it just depends on what you want to do and when you start to pursue that research career. So you just email the professors or talk to any of your professors, and depending on if they have spots or not, then you're usually pretty good. Everyone I know who's a sophomore now who wants to do research is doing research.
Bethany, how did you get your research position? What was that
Yeah,
process?
so what I did is I went online to the Biomedical Engineering USC page, and they have a tab that has all the labs that are specifically BME, because I wanted to do specifically BME research, obviously. And I looked at the ones that I was interested in, and I saw the one that I really wanted to do, so I emailed him, and he was actually a new professor coming to USC my spring semester of my freshman year. So I emailed him, and then he interviewed me, and I started with his lab from the very beginning, and I've been in that lab ever since. So I think there's a lot of labs at USC, so you can get kind of overwhelmed at where to apply and what to do. I say email as many people as you can. You can email 50 people and 2 can get back to you, or 50 can get back to you. But you never know until you take that initiative to go out and email somebody or talk to your professors. But the research is there, and they want you guys to work there.
And not to sorry, not to kill this question any farther, but I also wanted to mention that student design teams are another great way to get hands-on experience as a freshman. I joined Rocket Lab my freshman year, and instantly started working with carbon fiber composites, working with fiberglass on the nose cones, creating propellant for our solid rocket motors. And the same can be said of anyone who joins SC Racing or Aero Robotics or Aero Design Team as freshmen. You're getting experience right away, and there's no barriers to entry as a freshman to join design teams or research for that matter.
Yeah, and that's definitely like a big thing, especially tying back to the internship question, especially when you're trying to apply as a freshman. It's really hard to justify that you have certain skills by saying I took intro to mechanical engineering. But if you're saying you're on SC Racing, you're on the Rocket Lab team where you do research, it's much easier for you to demonstrate, and it's much easier to get experience through actively applying what you learn in class. So that's definitely another great route to take.
Cool. Oh, I think Bria, you're all right, Bria. I'll ask the next question. We'll let Bria kind of figure out her mic situation here. Lindsay from Houston wants to know what are study abroad opportunities like for Viterbi, and how does that fit into our engineering schedules? Lindsay, you should be watching the Final Four. It's in your hometown, but that's okay. We'll give you a free pass. All right, let's take it away, guys.
Yeah, so I'll start off with that one. So Coco and I both did the same program, which is the Viterbi Overseas program, different years though. So Coco went the year before I did. I actually went this past summer, and I was in London. So Viterbi Overseas, it's a 7-week program where you actually get to take Viterbi classes taught by Viterbi faculty. So I actually took my upper division writing requirement class, as well as a technical elective, ISC 460, which is engineering economy, and they're usually classes that have some sort of application to what you're learning, and immersing yourself in another country's culture. So you actually go for 7 weeks, like I said, you take class 4 days a week, 4 hours a day. You're provided with housing, and then you also have trips and all these events that Viterbi plans for you. So you actually have a couple cultural events. We went to when we were in London, we went to Stonehenge in Bath one day, which was super cool, and we actually saw a traditional English play. And then the coolest part was we actually, every year they take you on one weekend trip. So we actually went to Paris for our weekend trip. Again, that was all paid for, transportation, housing. We just paid for, all the food and all the fun we had in the other city. And outside of that, you're also allowed to travel on your own. So myself and a bunch of my friends, we actually went to Budapest, Hungary, as well as Edinburgh, Scotland. This was all within 7 weeks. So even though we were only there for less than 2 months, we were able to do a lot, experience a lot, a lot of other cultures, which is super cool.
Yeah, I mean, jumping off of what Alex said, I think that one of the coolest things about study abroad is that there's so many different types of study abroad opportunities. So what Alex, and also the other Alex, what both Alexes did was Viterbi Overseas, which is a summer program. But you can also do like a full semester abroad. I have a lot of friends who studied abroad, especially in like the UK or Australia, but really anywhere. You can study a whole semester abroad. You can do the summer program like Alex and Alex did. I also did a 2-week program over the summer, which is called Problems Without Passports. So I took one class abroad in Guatemala through USC, and I got credit for it, which was really, really fun. And it was also really short, so I could do a 2-week summer program and also still do an internship that summer, which was really great. So in addition to like the 2-week program, you can do like a month-long program. You can do it, a whole summer, really anything. And in addition to studying abroad, you can also do other types of overseas programs. So you can do an internship abroad, you can do research abroad, all sorts of things.
Yeah, just to specifically kind of go back to Juliana's point, Madalena, who's another Viterbi student ambassador, she's currently studying abroad in, help me, she's Spain? She's some Hispanic. Singapore. It's not Hispanic.
Not starts with an S.
She is fluent in Spanish. Allie, who's another BSA, was just in Australia last semester. So they've done their semester-long experience. They're still graduating in 4 years. Also, Eric and I were part of the iPodia classroom last semester, where we, on a weekly basis, Skyped with students from Germany, Qatar, and Dubai in the UAE. And that was a pretty, is that traditional study abroad? No. But what's really neat about that is all of a sudden now we're actually having a classroom experience with students from all around the world with much different experiences than us, and it's on a weekly basis. I wasn't able to go, but some of our peers actually went to Germany to meet the students in Germany for a 1-week period, which was really, really cool.
Yeah, I think study abroad is something that everyone that I know who's ever done study abroad is like, it was just such a great experience. I know a lot of students are really interested in study abroad when they get to USC, so I think the really important thing to know is just that there's so many opportunities available, and it's, it's just really, really cool. What were you going to say, Alex?
Oh, no, I was just going to make a joke. Don't worry about it.
Sorry.
Yeah, Alex Booty is harassing me because I called studying abroad really, really, really cool. Filler words are my best friend. Okay. I'm gonna help Bria try and get online here, but let's move to our next question while we're waiting for that. Grant Schuster from Phoenix had a really great question, and he asked, what is USC's relationship with NASA and SpaceX? And I want to take that question, kind of expand upon it. What is USC's relationship with corporations in general? I know we touched on the career fair, but I think USC is really particularly strong in its ability to connect with companies. So what is your experiences with USC's alumni connections, maybe, and connections to corporations in general?
Yeah.
Shout out to Grant from Phoenix, first of all. 602. Sorry, guys. I had to get that in.
One thing I will say is that the Trojan family is super real, and the connections that you can get from it are incredible. So to answer the first question, the corporate question, the career fairs are massive, especially the Viterbi ones. This year we couldn't host it on like the Viterbi corner of campus because it wouldn't fit. We had to move it to like the main Truesdale Parkway, if you guys have been on campus, and just stretched along the whole parkway. Another experience I had recently was trying to get Google to give us a talk for my fraternity, and all we had to do was really just email Google's campus rep, and they got us in contact with a list of like 7 or 8 USC alum who are at Google who were specialized in different topics, and we got to choose from that group, and 100% of the people we reached out to said yes. Another experience I had recently was this weekend when I was actually at the Board of Trustees meeting giving a talk about innovation at USC, about a startup that I was working on. And
what's the Board of Trustees meeting?
What was it?
What's the Board of Trustees meeting, Eric?
So every year the Board of Trustees gets invited to like kind of a vacation getaway as like a thank you for being on the Board of Trustees, paid for by the university, and a part of that is panels. So I went and we actually got to hang out with the Board of Trustees, and these are like insanely successful people who are, a lot of them are in the Trojan family, and having access to those type of people is something that I don't think is very common, but at USC these people are very easy to reach out to, and it's pretty incredible.
Yeah, I think from my experience, I've seen Viterbi just has a very strong relationship with a lot of companies, so it'll manifest itself across different parts of like my life at USC. For example, like with Northrop Grumman, in my research lab, which I work with composites, Northrop Grumman will contact us since it's composites, it has to do with aerospace applications, and they'll say, you know, let's start this project together, or we have a different project with NASA as well. And that just comes from Viterbi having such a strong connection and fostering these connections with companies. But then from my engineering organization, I'm in Quest, which is typical to a lot of the engineering diversity organizations we have, like Society of Hispanic Professional Engineers and National Society of Black Engineers. So it's like, it's just an organization basically fostering diversity, but Northrop Grumman donated like just a blank check, like $4,000 to us at the beginning of the year, just because they're like, you know, we like USC students, we support what you do, you know, go for it. And then even beyond that, like companies, I feel like Viterbi just has such a strong connection within its alumni that you really see it in the way that they come back to benefit the school. So like the honors colloquium, which is a 1 unit or 2 unit class that actually no, it's 1 unit, sorry, that people in the engineering honors will take, we'll have like different company speakers come in each week to talk about it, or different organizations will have companies come in. So it really feels like for me, I just have so many chances to interact one-on-one with either alumni of USC or corporate representatives that I enjoy it, because I feel like at least I don't know exactly what I want to do in the future, and so being able to talk one-on-one is priceless to me, to talk to people about like their specific experiences. And even last semester, actually, I joined a Viterbi Student Alumni Mentorship Program. So I was given one mentor that was matched to me based on major and general field of interest that I can talk to. And so I'll Skype her like every 2 weeks or so and just talk about my life. And I get just one-on-one access to someone in industry through like this mentorship program. And that's not even the only mentorship program I've been offered. Like I could join right now like 3 or 4.
Yeah. And another cool program we have is actually suppers. Well, it's spelled SC uppers. I went to my first one a few weeks back, and it's interesting because the startup I started is a toy company, and somehow got randomly matched up with the senior VP of global distribution at Mattel, who was an alum from Marshall. And suppers is a program where that Society 53 puts on, which is the student org that connects directly with the alumni network, I believe. But essentially the idea is that they bring in like an alumni who's either willing to host you at their house or like take people out to dinner to some restaurant. We ended up going out, but some people did go to alumni houses. And the idea there is to connect you with the alumni network. And these people aren't getting paid. They're actually paying for your food. And the fact that alumni are so willing to go out of their way to help current students is something that I think is super rare. And these programs, and again, suppers isn't like the only program out there like this, but it's one of the bigger ones. So.
Great, thanks, Eric. I think Bria, you're back online. Can we hear you?
Oh.
yes, you can. There's a little bit of an echo, and it's kind of fun. But do you have a question, or do you want me to take this one too? You got it.
It's gonna echo.
All right, I'll take the next question, and we'll figure out the echo in the meantime. So we have we have a great question here from Baveen from Glendale. Baveen wants to know what's going on in the entrepreneurship. What can groups like Lava Lab do? SparkSC, Start Career Fair. So I know I'm kind of framing this question for you guys, but just tell me about the startup entrepreneurial scene at USC and your experiences within it.
So I mean, I guess I can talk about it. I started a company recently, a robotics company, and this was done not through SparkSC or Lava Lab, but we used a lot of different resources that was available to us. One was the MEPC competition, which is the Massey Entrepreneurship Prize competition. It's one of the many entrepreneurship pitch competitions that we have at USC. This one's specific for Viterbi. We got matched with mentors. We are in contention for a $50,000 cash grand prize, and we have, through the process, we've been exposed to a lot of the entrepreneurial resources that we have. So one big one is the Blackstone Launchpad, which the 3D4E Club and a few other organizations are based out of, but it's sponsored by Blackstone, the corporation, and the idea there is to launch innovative corporations. So there's been a lot of projects that come out, and they give us a lot of free resources. So you can schedule meetings with top-notch advisors. You can go through them to really network with the people in the industry and in venture capital, and you can also use them to grow your team. So I came in with 2 technical co-founders, and through them we've been growing our advisory board and plan on growing our core team as well. So there's a lot of resources for entrepreneurship, as well as the Iovine and Young School, the academy, has a lot of people who are also very interested in innovation, and the community as a whole has been very supportive of different entrepreneurship endeavors. So yeah.
Yeah, I think what's really cool is, it's not just entrepreneurial attitudes within Viterbi, it's, the entire campus, kind of like what Eric was saying. I actually took a one-unit speakers class in the Iovine and Young School, where they brought in a lot of speakers, people, who are big CEOs, founders of companies, and, just talking to us about how to think creatively and how to, take a small idea and, make it into the next big thing. And like what Eric was saying as well, in the Blackstone Launchpad with 3D4E, there are a whole bunch of companies that fall on, or not companies, student orgs that fall under the umbrella of SparkSC, and that's the whole, entrepreneurship community at USC. That's where it's all kind of, it's fostered, and the people there aren't just from Viterbi, like I said. There's so many people from all over that are, that are working to try and, be the next big startup.
And one thing I will say,
I was just going to add that I think Rudy brings up a really good point about startups and entrepreneurship having an influence in classes as well. So in my senior design class, I'm actually working for a startup as part of my project. So I thought that's a really influence in a lot of classes as well. What were you going to say, Eric?
I was going to say, like, from this weekend, talking to the trustees, I can also pretty confidently say that we are transitioning more, and there's going to, like, a lot of people are very interested in donating more money, especially on the entrepreneurship side, and this is something that a lot of the trustees and alumni are passionate about and really see a lot of value in, and I really do see, I am seeing the entrepreneurship scene growing really fast here, so it's really exciting.
They call it Silicon Beach.
Yeah, Silicon Beach spelled with an SC, right? That's what Dean Rose said the other day.
Yeah, it's so true.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm so.
That echo is fun. Sorry, Bria, you want to try that again? That's okay. Don't stress. Don't stress. Okay. So what Bria wanted to ask, and I'll ask it for her here, is for our seniors on the panel, so me and Juliana, what are our postgraduate plans? And because Juliana, I asked the question, you're going to have to answer first, if that's okay.
Okay, yeah, I can do that. So I am a senior, like Alex said. I'm graduating in May 13th, actually, coming up fast, like 6 weeks away. But after
counting, right?
Right. Yes. I know. Don't remind me. So I'm graduating in May, and then I'll spend the summer. I'm actually going to be traveling, which will be really fun. I'll be going to Europe, and then in early August, I'll be starting my full-time job at PwC in San Francisco. So PwC is best known for being a public accounting firm, but they also have a strong consulting division, and I'll be working in technology consulting there. I actually interned for PwC last summer in San Francisco, and I really enjoyed that experience and all the people I met, including some USC alumni. But it was just a really great experience, and I loved the internship. And so, luckily, they were willing to offer me a full-time job, and I was, enjoyed the experience, so I took it. And I'll be starting, like I said, in August. I'm excited.
And yeah, that's such a cool experience. I'm really jealous of Juliana because I think PwC is such a cool company.
Yeah.
But I'll be coming back to SC for my master's because I can't let go. I'll be finishing off. I'm doing the 5-year progressive degree program, and I'll be finishing a master's in mechanical engineering with an emphasis in energy conversion. This particular summer, I'll be working at Boeing, as I mentioned earlier, in Huntsville, Alabama, but that's just an internship. So I'll be back in LA in the fall looking for a full-time position while I work on my master's degree. So follow me on Twitter at USC_Kogo, and I'll keep you posted on the postgraduate plans that are fast approaching, unfortunately.
Yeah, so you just got 2 examples in me and Alex, but in terms of like our friends, I think, people finding full-time jobs after USC is pretty typical. A pretty good sized chunk of my friends are also doing the same program as Alex in terms of the progressive degree master's program. Some others are going straight to PhD programs or other activities as well, like law school, med school, or service trips and things like that. So I think does that seem like it pretty much covers like what seniors are doing next year, Alex?
Yeah, you kind of hit the nail on the head.
Okay. Cool.
Okay, am I back?
Yes, there we go.
Welcome back.
Welcome back, Bria. That's okay.
So hard. Okay, so a question we got from Severe in Seattle. Severe, you asked if about VSA apps and if incoming freshmen can apply, and I'm sorry, it's only open to juniors and freshmen who are already not incoming. But apply next year. We really appreciate your enthusiasm. And so we had some questions about the competitive versus collaborative environment in engineering schools and a lot of students' high schools. Can you guys speak more to the environment in Viterbi and what you feel like it is?
Yeah, I mean, if you guys have ever been to campus and talked to me at any of the student events, that's what I push all the time. That's really ultimately the reason why I came here and why I love USC so much is, you're not getting this cutthroat environment where everyone feels the need to edge everyone out, step over other people and put other people down. Everyone truly wants to see other people do their best and succeed, and it's so evident. Last night, I had a midterm this morning, and the entire weekend I was working with 3 different study groups, trading old homeworks, going over notes. And you're never by yourself unless you want to be. So if you ever need help with anyone, obviously you have your professors to go to, you have your TAs to go to, but you also have your classmates who are always going to be there and who are more than willing to help you out to see you do well in class.
I'll go off of what I'll go off of what Alex said, but I really think that a big advantage of USC Viterbi is that it's so collaborative, because engineering is a collaborative profession within itself. So you have to be able to do that and work with other people, and you really can't get through this school without working with other people. We have group projects all the time, and I don't know one engineer who doesn't study and has a study group with other like their friends or whatever. And I've never felt threatened or anything by people saying, like, trying to sabotage me or whatever. I've heard some horror stories from other schools with the engineering schools, but really USC is completely collaborative and encouraging. We like to encourage each other. I don't want to see my classmates fail because they're going to be my future colleagues, and I'm going to have to work with them in a collaborative environment.
Yeah, and just to add to that, it's such a big benefit, especially when you go to an interview, because the first question you get asked is like, tell us about a time you worked on a team. And at least for me, it's so great to be able to talk about class projects, talk about organizations outside of school, and just have so many different examples just from being in Viterbi that it makes it really easy to draw on experience. And I've had positive experience in groups, so it gives you a lot of experience on how to work with each other and what your style is and everything that I think has applications for the rest of your life.
Yeah, I mean, I will also be like the first to admit that in high school, group project was not necessarily like a phrase I really liked. I have to like admit that in high school, sometimes group projects were not something I really looked forward to at all. But I think at USC, especially in Viterbi, like group projects are amazing. It's so useful because you're working with all these kids who are as smart, if not smarter than you, usually smarter than you, which is really great. And, you just really get to like put all of your skills together, which is, it's just great. It's like some people are better at something, some people are better than at others, sorry. But all together, it really helps your whole team to be more successful. And, to Maria and Bethany's points, it's really a benefit, and it really helps you to understand the material better and do better on projects and stuff, to be able to work in a team. So I, honestly, now I look forward to group projects.
Okay, so that was our last question. We're nearing the end of our live. Just still coming in, which is fine. So if you guys have these questions, you can please go to our website, viterbivoices.usc.edu. You'll be able to find lots of blogs and stuff that's answering your questions. And also, hopefully, like I mentioned earlier, you guys got this in the mail, Experience USC Viterbi. It has a calendar of everything we're doing in April. Explore USC, Preview USC, so you guys can get on campus, talk to us. We can answer more specific questions. So our very last question that we're going to end the live chat with is why USC? So I'll start off why I picked USC. I picked USC because I wanted a school that had everything, and I guess at the time I didn't realize that everyone's everything is different, but for me, I wanted a school that was big, because people always told me that it's hard to make a small school feel big, but it's easy to make a big school feel small, and I've definitely felt that. I wanted a school that had a big football team, as funny as that sounds. It was actually really important to me. I wanted lots of sports and fun things to go to, and obviously USC is great with that. And I wanted a good engineering school, something with environmental engineering, so that's why I picked USC.
So yeah, so the reason I picked USC was because as an individual, I have a lot of diverse interests, and I wanted to go to a big school that would let me explore all these interests, including art, design, and obviously engineering. I played water polo in high school, and I want to continue to play, but maybe not at a collegiate level, so club water polo is big as well. And USC really offered me all of these things in one really nice package at a location that was far enough from home, but not too far. And the weather here is not bad either, so that's why I came to USC.
I chose USC because the minute I got onto campus, I fell in love. I fell in love with the campus. I fell in love with the people. I fell in love with everything that is USC. And the reason to that is because when you walk onto campus, you see that everyone is genuinely happy. And I think that's a really important aspect of going and picking your college, because you're going to be there for the rest of 4 years of your life. So you want to be happy. You want to go to a school that is going to provide you with everything that you want. And I think specifically within Viterbi, the reason why everyone is so happy is because of the fact that we're not just engineering students. We're not just engineering students who go to lecture and then come home and study. We're involved in everything, and you see these students and you want to be involved, and you want to be surrounded by these types of people. And I think that those three aspects of everyone being happy, able to have fun in college, but also have a strong engineering program and able to do all of that is what really sold me on USC.
Yeah, just to piggyback on that, I think my favorite thing about USC, why I picked it, is just the people here. There's so many amazing people doing amazing things, like Eric said, from diverse backgrounds. You learn so much. I'm a big proponent of learning through other people's experiences, and getting to meet so many people who have these different interests and are doing awesome things not only motivates me to, do more and be a better person, but also just to appreciate, everything else that everyone's doing. There's definitely the mentality of work hard, play hard. Everyone, knows that they're here for an education and does really well, takes school seriously, but at the same time, we like to have a lot of fun. We like to take advantage of everything that we have here at USC in LA.
Yeah, I chose USC because whenever I came here to visit, I realized USC was somewhere I felt like I could really grow into the person I wanted to be in college. I didn't want to be the same I was in high school. I wanted to love my classes. I wanted to be more involved. I just, in general, wanted to kind of change and grow in a way that I feel like USC really fosters, and especially meeting people when I came here to visit was the biggest factor for me.
So kind of my personal story is, when I was deciding to go to USC, I also had a full scholarship from Georgia Tech on the table. And the reason why I turned down that full scholarship was I visited the Rocket Lab, and I asked where the seniors were getting jobs. And they were working at SpaceX, Lockheed Martin, Northrop Grumman, Boeing, Blue Origin, and I just, the alumni connections, as we were talking about earlier, were just amazing. And I saw that firsthand as a high school senior, and now as a senior in college, I can speak to that. I'm working at Boeing, the lab lead's working at Blue Origin, we have Brad's working at SpaceX, Brady's working at Boeing, Adam's working at SpaceX. So our top senior engineers are all going to the top companies in the aerospace industry. So, and Georgia Tech and a lot of other universities just didn't have those same alumni connections that USC did. So that's why I chose USC.
Yeah, I mean, I completely agree with what everyone else has said so far. I agree. USC is like in a great location. We have incredible resources. The research opportunities are amazing. People here are amazing. All of those things are very true for me as well. I think one thing that we haven't really touched on yet that I wanted to add was that I really appreciated the flexibility in the engineering program here. To be quite honest with you, when I was a senior in high school, I didn't know exactly what type of engineering I wanted to study for sure. I liked math, I liked science, calc was okay, physics was good, but I wasn't really sure what it meant to be an industrial and systems engineer or what it meant to be a biomedical engineer. And so I think I really appreciated the fact that in Viterbi, it's so easy to switch between majors. It's really common for students to switch between majors their first few semesters. And there's a lot of resources to help students really understand what opportunities are available to them here. And so I think I really, really liked the flexibility and the idea that engineers can be, engineers, but also study things outside of engineering here too. So at the end of the day, I picked USC for a ton of reasons, but really also the flexibility and the emphasis on interdisciplinary work here was really, really important to me. But yeah, so many reasons.
Okay, thanks guys. So that concludes our Spring 26 live chat. Sorry about the technical difficulties, but I hope everyone enjoyed it. Congrats again on getting into USC. And yeah, I hope to see you guys on campus. Come to our admitted student programs. Everyone, we're going to give a big fight on, okay?
Fight on campus. See you soon. Rock on, rock stars.